Good afternoon, probably for most of us. Sunday, July 3rd, here, coming at you from up in Park City, Utah. I was trying to debate should I do a live today, tomorrow? And then I was like, I don't really worry about that. I just kind of get on and do it. Doesn't matter how many people show up. People can watch it, people might not watch it. Whoever watches it is supposed to see it. It's been a fascinating week. Really a truly expansive week for me. Um, Personally, professionally, mentally, spiritually. I've been out and about and really turning up the volume on this idea of committing others. A lot of my work with Mr. Hardison these days is looking at where I'm holding back. 18 months ago, actually no, almost 2 years ago, I began working. Hello, Lisa. I'm gonna say Lisa. We'll give it a shot. If I got that right, let me know. I started working with Steve about 2 years ago, and the work with him came about from an index card on which I wrote, "I'm committed to taking off the governor so I can serve the world." And a governor, if you don't know what that is something they put on a car or a truck that keeps the speed below a certain amount. So that was the initial commitment that created my working with Steve, and that's really what I've been working on every day for the last 2 years is where am I holding back such that it's keeping me from serving the world, right? Not holding back to get what I want or what have you, but to truly serve. And that plays some funny games, right? Because when you're not holding back, when you're showing up 100% committed, or as ever whatever portion of that I'm at, to serving others, well, sometimes it doesn't look like serving to somebody else. Sometimes it looks like manipulation. Sometimes it looks like bullying. Sometimes it looks like all sorts of things. Or maybe it just, that's the head trash I've got. So the last couple weeks, and I'll be at Steve's again this week, but since my time with him, well, that's worth mentioning. When I was there about a week and a half ago, the last visit, I showed up and I was so proud of all the committing that I'd done, getting others committed, really being committed myself to committing them, like sort of like, hey, look at all this great stuff I did, and in his beautiful, powerful, loving way, Steve acknowledged me and you know saw and acknowledged all the places where I'd really stepped into my own power, my own commitment, and then said, "Hey, you ready for a little floor to ceiling? Let's make the ceiling the floor." And I got to see all the hey, Rebecca, good morning. I got to see all the places where I wasn't committed, where I'd held back, where I, pulled punches, so to speak. So that was humbling and empowering. I love that. I mean, that's why I go, is to not get pats on the back, but to help me see what I'm missing, right? I play this game called Where Am I Not? Where Could I More? Not from a place of like lack or missing something, but just for fun. So let's just say I had a lot of conversations in the last couple of weeks, and all of those conversations, they followed the same vein, right? Now, I am a coach. Coaching is what I do for a living, but these are conversations that I have regardless of who I'm speaking with. It's not, these conversations to coach with people. It's everybody I interact with. It's the same me. I'm not like, well, I coach over here, but this is what I do with my friends, right? If somebody's a friend of mine, well, I'm same guy, same same experience of me. I'm always curious and interested in what does who I'm sitting across from want. What do they want to create? What are they creating? What are they looking to create in the world? And where do they see limits to that, right? I am the coach of being. I'm here to show as many people before I expire that they are infinite creators. That's very, very clear to me, right? That's what I'm here to do. That's who I'm here to be. And there's nobody I'm not here to be that with or for. Hey, good morning, Patricia. Right? That's what it is. It's what this is. So, what do you want? Right? Most people don't have a good answer to that question, don't have any answer to that question, or if they got an answer, it's really sort of vague. So, sometimes the most powerful way I can serve folks is to simply say, well, would you be interested in up-leveling that? What if you wanted a little bit more? What if what you were dreaming about was a little more inspiring for you? Could we create that? Right? I'm not trying to coach them. I'm just simply asking, like, what do you want? What do you think you can? What do you think you deserve to get? And would you be open to seeing maybe you deserve more? Some are, some aren't. With some of those folks, we get to something that's really inspiring to them and to me, like what they're playing for. Yeah, where do you see the limits? And when they're looking to play a game that's pretty, hey, good morning, Steve, play a game that's inspiring, well, that would be a place where I could let them know I could assist them with that, right? It's just what happens in the conversation, right? If somebody was working on a bicycle, right? I spent a lot of years in the bike industry. I work on bikes, and they were. I say, would you like me to? I could assist you with that if you would like. So, over the course of, this past week and a half or so, I had some incredible conversations with folks, and really they articulated powerfully and beautifully. Yeah, I want this. I want to be free from worrying about money all the time. I want to feel fully expressed. Good morning, Judy. How are you? I want to leave a legacy, right? And part of the act of just helping people dream and create something, hey, Ben, good morning, is oftentimes getting them out of the trap of, well, let me figure out how and then I'll decide where, right? Like, so many of our dreams are filtered through, I would need to know how I'm going to do that, and if I have all the reasons why I can't do that or why it won't be possible, so I don't even want to articulate it, right? So just, in my view, that serves people, just have that conversation and have them look past the how to create a really powerful where, and then maybe the how will figure itself out. So it's a beautiful conversation I get to have, right? Because you go from somebody having a very, hey, Ben, what's up, brother? Having a very Legia, hello, Legia, very sort of mundane and very small dreams. To you can see their eyes start to light up. You can see their whole demeanor and energy start to shift as they're beginning to create. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Good morning, my brother. As you can start to see them creating more expansiveness. Okay, so what are you looking to create? Let's up level that, and we're just talking. If it shows up to me, I could help somebody with that. Well, then I'm gonna let them know, right? And the way I let them know is very, very simple. And I've had conversations with various people from this group about that. But if somebody says, I want this, I want that, I want that, I have no problem saying to them, I want to make you a promise. I want to tell you something. I promise if we were to work together, you would have that. You would have that and you'd have more, right? To me, that's the starting point of even contemplating coaching. And this isn't about coaching. I'm not pitching coaching here. I'm just take coaching out of it, right? This could be talking to a friend. Hey, you want that. If you were to work with me, and that doesn't always mean money, you would have that. I start with a promise. I don't believe I can support somebody, assist them in getting what they want, nothing else to talk about. And then their eyes kind of light up like, well, that'd be pretty cool. I said, well, like I said, I promise, would you like to know what I would need you to do in order for us to work together, right? And I want to be very clear, working together doesn't always mean like money. It could mean like for me to assist you in some way or point you in the direction, right? See, people want advice and they want to have ideas, then they're going to go shop those ideas with other people and see what other people think, and they're not going to take any action on those. I'm not interested in that. Again, this isn't about clients. This could be friends. This could be family members, all sorts of things. I'm here to help people get a bigger view of what they want to create and help them get it if it is something I can help them with. Or point them to somebody who can. Very simple. And for me, there's only one game to play with, which is if you want this, you would need to get committed to it. And I can share with them things that they need to do that would look like commitment. And it's not all money, right? Somebody says, I want this. I promise I can help them with it. Would you like to know what I would need you to do for me to support you with that? Well, I give them things to do, and they're not always things to do. They're ways to be, right? One of the things I might say is, first and foremost, I would need you to see. Thank you, Judy. That's so sweet. I would need you to see, and I'm trying to paint some picture for them, right? They would have to look at something and see it differently, so I'm telling them that. In order for us to work together, I would need you to trust me or trust somebody, right? A lot of the times, the fundamental issue is people don't trust anybody. They don't want to have any help, right? They want to do it themselves, and that's fine. There's no imperative not to, but if we're going to work together, and finally, I'll say something like, and I would need you to commit to, and then there's going to be something I'm going to get them committed to. Sometimes it's, I need you to go do a little bit of writing and thinking and produce this, and then we'll talk. Sometimes it's, I need you to go grab the Ultimate Coach book, read that, read it about you, read the front and back cover. I create that whole thing. And sometimes I would need you to commit to working with me for Fiona. Hello, beautiful Fiona, right? So that might be the commitment. And that's when it gets interesting, right? Because that's when, hey, Norleen, that's when you start to hear, and the other being I'm sitting across from starts to try and convince me and themselves that whatever I'm trying to get them committed to isn't possible. Oh, well, I'm really busy and I don't have that, and I don't, right? They got the business case all laid out as to why they can't commit to something. And that's when the fun really starts. Hello, Nicholas. Because for me, commitment is what creates everything, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. And most people don't have the faintest clue about commitment. They think commitment is something you're going to get when you got enough information, when you have everything all lined up, when you got all the money, when you have all the time, when everything's all allocated the right way. Okay, then I'll get committed. So I can't get committed because I don't have that already. So I get to slow down and say, let's talk about commitment. Let me share with you about commitment and how I see it, and create, an opportunity. Yeah, it is arguing for their limitations, Rebecca. What's interesting, though, is that in itself is an expression of how powerful they are, right? That they create their limitations. And the more I look at this, the more I see it really is a fundamental misunderstanding about how commitment works, right? If somebody thinks I need A, B, C, D, E all lined up to get committed, well, then it makes sense, right? You need to talk about the limitations because I got to get those out of the way and then I'll get committed. However, hey, Lorraine, good morning. However, if I, in this case, or anybody can help them shift this idea of what commitment is, well, then they'll see the limitations will just be things that would fall away after the commitment. So I used to get really frustrated, right? Why are they arguing for the limitations? And it's like, oh, well, if they're looking through the wrong end of the telescope, that's what they're going to see. So all that conversation really, for me, just creates an opportunity to have a conversation with somebody about commitment and how it works and how it's different. And then invite them to play a game called Get Committed, right? And I've said this a couple times, but every time I've said it, I mean it. I mean it this time. And that's when it gets really interesting, right? Because now I've explained this thing called commitment and how it works and how you would start there, right? So they're like, "Ooh, well, maybe I'll try it." And then it's like, "Okay, let's get committed," right? and that's when the heat gets turned up a little bit, right? Like, that's when somebody watching might say, "Wow, that guy's kind of pushy. This Townsend guy, he's kind of a bully. He doesn't understand. I don't understand like what's going on." Trust me, I understand. As much as I understand, I am a stand for some things that I think are really important, right? Those being, we are infinite creators. We're infinite beings. We're always being, and that being is always creating, and it's creating everything. Okay? Creating everything in our lives, everything we want, everything we don't want. I'm a stand for, you can have whatever you're committed to. I'm also stand for can't, unable to, don't have enough time, don't have the resources, are disempowering falsehoods. And yet they look real. I'm not making fun of somebody or demeaning them, right? I'm just saying you can create life that way or you can create it differently. And I'm not trying to be right, and I'm not trying to get somebody to a different place. I'm simply inviting them to play a game called Learn About Commitment. I'm not a master of commitment, except that I will never stop being a student of commitment. Right? I learn more about commitment every day, and I see more areas where I think I'm committed, I'm not, and I see things in my life that I think shouldn't be there, and I go, well, I'm not committed to that, but then I know I must be committed to that, or it wouldn't be there, right? Yeah, beautiful. Steve gets this, right? And I want to acknowledge that it feels difficult. It feels sometimes wrong. I can't give my commitment. It's so funny. Like, just to speak, I'm committed to this, right? I can't tell you how many times this week I got somebody to say, Townsend, I want you to know I'm committed to working with you. I'm going to send you this much money on this date, right? And I'm doing that to help them see the power of their commitment, not so I can have more money in my bank account, right? Yes, I'll have money in my bank account, but I'm more interested in this person's going to learn what it's possible to create from commitment, right? And that they can do it everywhere. I believe this. Everything in your life, everything in my life, is there because of a commitment to it. And that's the good stuff and the bad stuff, right? This isn't a judgment. This isn't like anybody's doing it wrong. And it doesn't present an obligation to change anything. It's just like gravity, right? Like, so I know gravity works where, I drop something that goes this way. That's just how it is, and I can have any opinions I want about it, right? But ultimately, I got to take a step back and say, well, I think I need to learn how to work with this thing if I want life to go well. So it can get interesting, right? And what is fascinating and beautiful to see is how powerful folks' commitments are to not change or to keep things how they are, to their own limitations, right? And I've had conversations in the past couple of weeks with folks that are, I would just say, living very unexpressed lives. I don't want to judge their life, but by their own admission, they want more. And I've had conversations with folks that are profoundly unhappy, suffering, in pain, in real spiritual and emotional pain. And I've sat across them and said, I promise you get committed to some things I'm going to get you committed to, and what you want, you will have. And we've gotten past, in most cases, I can't get committed until I have all the information. Some cases we didn't. That's interesting. Like, somebody can't even get committed to play the game, right? That's a powerful commitment to limitations, right? Not judging them for those limitations, but acknowledging that that's what's going on. And watching what happens on the other side of the game, right? When they shift into a state of commitment from their speaking of a commitment, well, some start to play the game from that place and take actions consistent with it. Some run and hide. All right. Some people, I'm sure I'm on the blocked caller list for a lot of folks that I've talked to in the last couple of weeks. Right. They know, and more importantly, their being knows. They're getting on the phone with me. I'm committing them to something. I'm not here to chit chat. I'm not here to commiserate. I'm happy to listen, but I'm stand for, hey, you can have everything you want. You can have anything you want. You can create your life however you want. And to a lot of beings, that's, what's a great word? That is a disruptive thought. I'd even say that's a repulsive thought, right? Some folks are so committed to, it's not in my control, right? They don't want to listen to me. That's perfect. They don't need to, right? I know what I'm here to do, and I'm not doing it in a way. Hello, Jen. I know how I'm supposed to show up, and I know that whoever is sitting across from me, that's who this is for. And that means that some people sitting across from me are going to go, that guy's an idiot. Hello, Greg. And wander off. Well, then they're not here anymore, right? I'm not watching the stats on this, but there's probably 5 or 10 people that came on and listened and go, that guy's an idiot, and went off. Or I don't like this, or he doesn't understand, he doesn't get it, or on and on and on. Perfect. They're going to go sit across from somebody else or listen to somebody else who's speaking to them in a way that makes sense for them. That's how it is. There's, I don't know, was it 7, 8 billion people on this planet? Right? Whatever it is, I'm here sharing. And there's a few billion sharing the complete opposite or thinking that what I'm talking about is complete garbage. And that's okay, right? I am more committed to my purpose, my intention, what I'm here to do, than I am to how I look. And trust me, I catch myself all the time being I need to look good, being I want to be right, being superior. And then I got to clean that up and get back to, no, I'm here to serve. And I serve those that serve, and I serve them by committing them to commit. That's what I do. So, hope you all are having a wonderful weekend, spending time with family, loved ones, getting outside, enjoying some beauty. And I hope this conversation got some thoughts flowing around about commitment and how we create and what we're committed to and what are you trying to create in life and are you dreaming big enough and all sorts of fun questions. If any of this stuff sparks interest or like you're like, I'm not sure what he meant or I'm confused, send me a message. I'm always happy to chat. Right? I'm not trying to pick up clients here. I'm not trolling to enroll people. I got plenty of stuff going on that side with my business, but I love having this conversation and this community is why I'm here on Facebook. I don't post anywhere else on Facebook. So yeah, anyway, I can be of support as you guys explore this and try to get your heads around that or point you to resources. You let me know. Otherwise, have an amazing 4th of July weekend if you're here in the U.S. Thanks, Ben. Love you, brother. All right, guys. Have an amazing day. Love y'all.